Hello everybody and welcome to the long-awaited question and answer session. First off, I would like to thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. It means a lot to me. It means that I won't be giving up this channel when quarantine ends. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't have given it up anyways, but yeah, so you guys sent in over 100 questions and I'm going to try to answer all of them. Do not expect my insane levels of editing for this because I know for a fact that this is going to go on for an ungodly amount of time. But, yeah, I guess let's just get right into it. So, first off, we have a question that says, heard you had a Discord. Any way to join it? So I'm going to be grouping this with the, 3 complaints that I had about my Discord. So, first to answer the question, yes, I do have a Discord server, and second, to address all the complaints, it has no moderation, and it's complete garbage, but I wouldn't have it any other way, at least for now. So, I'm not going to fix the Discord server. If you're complaining about it, go frick yourself. Alright, so, next question. Thoughts on Pewds. You know, I actually like PewDiePie, I'm not gonna lie. I used to watch his videos a lot. I don't really anymore, but respect to him, respect to him. I'm gonna try to do his voice here. Hi Beppo, it's me, Beehive. My question for you is if you're going to make more videos on just the albums, or make more videos on the artist's whole career. For example, like the Crystal Castles video. I know, that was a garbage Beehive impression, I'm sorry Beehive, but, yeah, I definitely think I'm going to, because those kinds of videos are pretty fun to me, you know, and nobody can yell at me for my opinions being garbage. I mean, people still do yell at me, but, like, at least they can't yell at me for opinions. Next question. What's your guilty pleasure music? Something you wouldn't be caught dead listening to? Well, if I'm being honest here, I listen to a ton of, like, 2000s popular music, like rock and stuff, like freaking Blink-182 and Sum 41, because nostalgia or whatever. But, something that I actually wouldn't be caught dead listening to, like, Gargura covers of songs, and, like, listening to, like, Shiny Smiley Story, and, the 4chan anime board covering things, you know, like /a/ or I don't know how to pronounce it IRL, but yeah, those are all very guilty things that I probably would not listen to in real life, and by that I mean like in public. Alright, so next question. This one is a particularly interesting one. The resplendent beauty of your mind, a tragic overture to the character you stand to represent, a god, an idol soon to be. We love and care for you, always have, always will. But anyways, here is a possible questions you might answer. It's truly up to you. Lore related. What is Choop's real name? Not lore related. Why do you torment us so, writhing, suffering, bittersweet? Why must our love stand unrequited? So to address the first question, her real name, so Choop's is actually a nickname. The full thing is Chupacabra. Her first name is actually Cosette, like the girl from Les Miserables. And to address the second question, I don't know what you're talking about, because I love each and every one of you. That's right, the viewer who is listening to this right now. I will literally go to Vegas and get married to you. I don't even care who you are. Next question. So this one is an Imgur link, and it links to a Morse code message that says, like, a dog howls at a cage, or something like that. I translated it a while ago when I first got the question. Cool. Cool beans. Good job on writing a coded message for me. Next one. Hey Beppo, what's your typical process for researching for vids? So I try to get as many sources as I possibly can. You know, first it usually starts out with the Wikipedia article, but I try as hard as I can to get first-hand sources. Like in my most recent video, the Before the Band one, I went out of my way to, like, find that to find Pino Placentil's fiance's blog post, and that was pretty interesting. I feel like it's most interesting when I can scrounge up things like that, and like, you know, those old MTV interviews and stuff like that. Yeah, I try to find like the most obscure things I can, so I really do spend a lot of time researching for some of my videos. For the more opinion-based ones, I usually just like, you know, like a few results off Google, but you know, when you're reviewing music, you don't really need to know the entire backstory of the album. For history videos, though, I research really in depth. Next question. Will you ever draw Rule 34 of your characters? Please do. I personally will not, but if you do, I will be very flattered. So, yeah, that's when I'll know I've made it on the internet. Next question. What video of yours do you hate the most? This is a hard question, because I'm really obviously like biased against the videos that I've recently made, but I remember the TBMR Season 2 Sewer Sluts, Starving Sluts Always Get Their Fix. That one was probably the most tedious video to make, but yeah, I think that was that. But also Crystal Castles Before the Band, because my mic broke like halfway through recording, so like half the audio is messed up. I was able to like salvage it by using a bajillion different filters, but that really like demotivated me, you know? Also, yeah, I don't know, I run into difficulty while making videos like somewhat often, but it doesn't really, you know, I wouldn't say I hate any of the videos themselves. I just kind of hate the things that happen that get in my way while I'm making the videos, you know? Next question. What will I do if I get banned? Well, it depends, because I think if I'm at a larger number, like a much larger number, and there's a demand for my content, I will probably pull a Keemstar and make a new account and just say that someone else owns the account and that I'm just the host. You know the vibes, you know the vibes. But that didn't really work out well for Leafy, so I don't know. Look forward to me on like BitChute or whatever, if that happens. I do not plan to stop making content if YouTube bans me, is what I'm trying to say here. Any shows you like? Yeah, I mean, to be honest, my taste in television has gotten pretty garbage over the past year. I've been watching like a ton of slice of life anime because I'm like, you know, a little rarted, but whatever. Good shows. Go watch Full Metal Alchemist, bro. That's a classic. What made you want to start doing videos? I am dissatisfied with the perfectionism I see across the YouTube community. Everything seems very sanitized, very clean, and so I was kind of like, I want to make a show that kind of challenges that and just kind of lets itself out there without, you know, trying to appeal to a wider audience, because I feel like a lot of YouTubers are just kind of like trying to get as many fans as they can. Yeah, dude, I don't care. You can subscribe, you can not subscribe. I'm honestly surprised I even reached 1,000 with the way I've been doing things. But yeah, that's why I started making videos. What high school did you go to? I am not going to answer this, because why would I answer that? I don't even show my face on videos. Who are my YouTuber inspirations? So I'd say that... Alright, don't hate me for this, but I think my number one inspiration, like, you can really easily see it if you watch this guy's videos. It's this guy called Demolition D. His channel name is Douchebag Chocolat. Basically, he's like an anime reviewer like me, except he's like 200 times better, and his work is really great every time he releases something. I really do look up to him a lot in terms of content creation, and I've been watching him since I was like, you know, since he was big, which was in like 2013, 2014. He still streams on Twitch, but he has like years between his uploads now on YouTube, so maybe that's where I get my latency on everything that I promise from. But yeah, you know, looking at my content and looking at his, I think some of the main differences are, number one, he would probably hate my content because I'm a cartoon girl on the internet. Number two, he's more of a perfectionist than me. I'm 100% fine with getting like good work out, but not like great work. But he like scraps videos if they're only good. He wants like absolute perfection. And that's something I really look up to, and I hope to one day be able to replicate. I just don't think my skill level's out there yet, so I don't know, dude. I don't know. Check him out though, Demolition D. He is a god amongst men. Next question. Hey Beps, I notice you mostly review electronic music. Are there any vocal-led rare artists or rare genres of music that you like? Yeah, there are quite a few. I listen to a lot of obscure Japanese disco and Japanese bossa nova. They have heavy lyricism in them, but if you're talking like English, so that you can understand the lyrics, there's this girl called Way's Blood, or Way's Blood. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll throw an album cover up here. You should check her out. There's a song, A Lot's Gonna Change. It's pretty good. Also, Field Medic. He's sort of like a acoustic folk, semi-country, but not really kind of guy. He's like lo-fi. I don't know how to describe him. If I was making a serious video, I'd figure out a way to describe him, but I just don't care. Just go listen to some of his songs. I'll put titles up here right now, I promise. If I don't, I'm being lazy. Next question. What are your opinions on horrorcore and other types of shock rap? I used to listen to a lot of edgy shock rap back in the day, so I like it. I don't really listen to much anymore, though. Next question. You got a great potential, my man. Gotta say, you'll blow up soon enough. Wait till the Tube's algorithm picks you up. Otherwise, great content, man. Keep it on. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Next one. What's the inspiration for your avatar, and how did you create it? So actually, it's kind of a stupid, cringe kind of thing, but I made Choops years ago, and she didn't have a name for like 7 years. So the inspiration was the phrase "devil's advocate," because originally she was a character used to deface public property. And so she was meant to be a sort of contrarian, and I guess that carries over into her personality today. Her design itself, because I guess you're probably wondering about that, there was this old game on 4chan's traditional games board called Tower Girls, and, I used to play it. It was pretty fun. Basically, there are a bunch of princesses, and it's like a game of imagination in a way, where you kind of like write a story and you draw the characters. Yeah, /I, the Okaki board, or Oekaki, I used to frequent it a lot, and, we used to make a game out of drawing, so you would draw the character that you got in your Tower Girls roles. So I got the Mimic Princess, and she had these bangs that were covering her eyes, and I was like, dude, that's a really good idea. And she had like these little blushes that looked like M's, and I was like, dude, what if I made those face tats? What if instead of a bow, because I was also mixing this with the Devil's Advocate idea, what if I gave her like devil horn headband? And so the original design for Choops, actually, she didn't have eyes because the bangs were covering her eyes and her hair was much shorter. I guess you can kind of see that reflected in the some of the assets I use where she has short hair, but yeah, that's where she came from. I used her for years. Like, this character has been around since like 2015 or something. I don't really know. How did you first get into hardcore genres and other underground stuff? So all my life I've kind of been surrounded by people who like obscure music. A lot of my good friends in school would introduce me to, music that was much outside of the mainstream, or music that had a cult following. And additionally, I think a lot of my attraction to rare music is on the part of my father, because he was super into like underground music and music that nobody else was listening to back when he was around my age. So it's like there's a bit of reflection there. Next question. Least favorite musician? See, I wouldn't really say that I have a least favorite musician, because there's so much garbage out there in the world, So I think I'm gonna just not answer this question because I don't want to make anyone mad. I'm sorry, but I saw what the Lana Del Rey fans did to Punk Revolution Now, and that's just not my vibe. I mean, I guess I could just keep it general, so I guess I'll just do that. Probably shameless ripoffs of other songs that say that they just draw inspiration. It's been a really big trend for people to just, it's not even a style bite. It's like literally you rip off the entire concept of a popular album, or, even a popular rare album. I know that sounds contradictory, but you know what I mean. If you know what I'm referring to, you know what I'm referring to. But, just have an original idea for once, guys. Also, yes, this applies to the rap game. Next question. Okay, I need a full rundown on Choop's lore. Well, one of my community members, the lovely Vixie, she's been working on the TripleBeppo wiki, so you will likely be able to learn all you need to know right there. Why TripleBeppo and not DoubleBeppo? I don't know. I honestly don't know. There's no reason. Next question. Hey, you're cute. P.S. How many peepees have you sucked in your life? 0. Like, 0 peepees. Thanks for asking, though. What are your plans with your YouTube channel? Is it something temporary, or you want to have a YouTube career? So, I think that depends on what you mean by YouTube career. If you mean, like, quit my job and just only make money from YouTube and become a full-time content creator, I do not hinge my future on that. That is a dream. If that happens, I would be like, whoa, that's awesome, dude. That's freaking sick. I can pay for college. But, like, I do plan on creating content for a while. Like, I do not plan to stop anytime soon. But, I'll probably have to slow down uploads once the world goes back into function. Unless I start, unless I start blowing up and actually making enough money to, survive off YouTube. So I don't know. I guess we'll just see where fate takes us. But I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. That's the bottom line. I'm just gonna assume that you watch a lot of anime. What anime or manga has resonated with you on an emotional level? Alright, so at the risk of sounding like a basic taste loser, like you guys are all gonna say, probably, Code Geass, that resonated with me a lot because I'm an egotistical asshole. But also Full Metal Alchemist. I don't really think I've watched a show that's really hit that level for me. I don't know. Lane was pretty good too. Serial Experiments Lane. Thank you to my audience for suggesting that I watch that. The ambience or whatever you want to pronounce it like. I know I get a lot of criticism for that. It was really good. It was really good. My one complaint would probably be towards the end. Everyone said it was going to be really confusing and obscure and you would have to derive your own meaning from the content. But I feel like the end kind of ruined that for me because I was like, oh, that's what's happening. Yeah, but good show still. Good show. Definitely worth a watch. Next one. What album or artist have you been obsessed with recently? Or lately? So there's this Japanese artist from the 80s, Kaori Kuno. She does sort of romance songs, I guess. Very calm, very melancholic. They're almost wistful in a way. Yeah, they're very good. I'm probably going to review one of her albums in an upcoming episode of TBMR at some point. No solid plans yet, though. No solid plans yet. But check her out. What type of music do I listen to regularly? Japanese bossa nova and disco. Also, 2000s music. Also, like, Suicide Boys. Also, like, yeah, I just listen to pretty much anything. I just kind of like, you know, if I'm feeling it, if I'm feeling that type of mood, I will listen to whatever. I'm not one of those people who's like, I only listen to something if it's under 100k views, or like, oh, I only listen to something if it has harsh metallic grinding noises and an irregular beat, bro. Like, I think that you should just listen to whatever music you want to listen to. Listen to what makes you feel good, not what matches your quote-unquote aesthetic. Next question. What is your way of finding new music? Well, nowadays it's mostly from my audience members, but before that, I would go on YouTube. There are certain channels on YouTube that are specifically devoted to posting whole ripped albums, like whole ripped rare albums that don't even get copyrighted or anything. But yeah, there's this one channel, Zerf XPEC. It's like it posts a lot of Japanese bossa nova and disco and pop from the 90s and 80s and 70s, so I really recommend them. Also, there's one called Underground Rap Collector who posts, you know, mixtapes that were handed out on the streets in like the 80s. He's got some old artists that you wouldn't expect. There are definitely more, like 100% there are more, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head. But yeah, bottom line is YouTube is a good place to find rare music. Next one, is music a big part of your life? What other interests do you have? So I'd say that it is a big part of my life in that it's my escape from the harsh realities of life, yeah. What other interests do I have? I like drawing. I like going to school. I know that for you high schoolers that probably seems ridiculous, but trust me, college is a lot more entertaining than high school. Other interests. I like gardening. I like collecting antiques. I'm a really big fan of, you know, holding history in my hands. So, yeah, that's a little known fact about me, I guess, because I haven't really mentioned it on the channel. Next question. You have to save one and kill the rest. Korone, Gura, and Ayame. Choose wisely. Alright, so number one, I'd like to thank you for recognizing my addiction to Hololive through the memes I use in my videos. Also probably the posts on TripleBeppo SP that you've seen. So to answer your question, I would probably choose Gura because I cannot speak Japanese, so I would not be able to communicate to the other two at all. You know, also, she's just cool. I think even if the others could speak English, I'd probably still choose her, just because, you know, I even watched her, like, prior Alias, you know, her other character, if you know what I'm talking about, so, like, you know, I'd choose Gura, basically. Next one. Beppo, where can we go to support you and maybe get extra content? Well, thank you for providing me an opportunity to shill my Patreon. Right now, there's not any like serious content on there. I have a post where I do my top 5 Nightcore songs. I have a post where I sing Fuck the Police by NWA. I have a post where I sing Baka Mitai. So yeah, you can go there. I'm planning on doing like some reviews that I can't post on YouTube on there or something, but I really need to research the guidelines. But yeah, Patreon. Go to Patreon. Next one. Your name. Explain it. Alright, so like 5 years ago, I was trying to play a game with my friends. It was called 100% Orange Juice. It's like this like little anime character board game kind of thing. And I was like, dang, I need to figure out a name that's like that sounds like something that an anime girl would say. I don't know why that was my line of thought. I was probably under the influence, but yeah, I just thought Beppo, that sounds kind of cute, so then I went with that, and then I added the triple because P.S. triple, you know, like Chad Warden. Yeah, so my name basically means nothing. It literally was just chosen because, hey, that sounds kind of good, and it's a little catchy, you know? Have some songs made you reflect? Yeah, I'd say that the majority of music that I review on my channel makes me reflect on certain aspects of my life. I think that, you know, part of the appeal of music for me is that it kind of makes me see things in a different light, whether that's a positive or negative one. You know, while I'm listening to music, I'm thinking about actions I've made, decisions I've made, like things that have went wrong, things that have went right. You know, I think that music as a whole is, you know, partially made to make you reflect upon yourself, or at least a lot of the music that I listen to, like ambient tracks and trance tracks. So yeah. Any video in which you have tried harder than the others? Well, if you look at the times on the videos, I'd say that I've tried really hard on all of them, but the ones that are especially long, those are ones that I've probably spent like multiple nights like staying up trying to make. I spend an ungodly amount of time on my videos, to be honest. Like, I wish that I was a gaming channel and I could just like pump stuff out in like just 10 hours or something, but yeah, I don't know. Grass is always greener, right? Next one. It is not a question, but thank you very much for recommending the Plantasia album. It has made me reflect and be someone positive. Thank you very much, Bep. So you're welcome. Kind of funny how this like ties into the other question about reflecting. I'm glad that you like Plantasia. It's a good album. It's also one of the first electronic albums, which is really interesting. Next one. Why are you so hot? Number 1. You've never seen what I look like in real life, but I assure you that I'm much more attractive than you probably envision. I get mad bitches and hoes. Next question. What are your pronouns? Literally anything. I don't care. People call me he, people call me she, people call me they. Like, I don't care, you know? I literally don't care. I'm a cartoon on the internet. Next one. Blunts, bowls, or bongs? If I had to choose, probably big fat pot blunts, because that's cool. You know, it's like a special occasion kind of thing. It's like you got swag if you're chiefing on a big fat blunt, you know? I hope my pop filter's good. Big fat. That was the most aggressive popping sound I could make. Next one. Is Big Chungus funny? Yes. 100%. I've laughed hysterically when someone uncharacteristically says Big Chungus. Next one. What are your top 3 favorite albums at the moment? I don't rank my albums at all. So, yeah, I can't really answer this question. I've been listening to a lot of like varied things. You know, listening to full albums is kind of mostly reserved for reviews, because a lot of the time albums have like, you know, albums have songs that are hit and some of them are miss. So I kind of just like take the ones that are hits and then I just listen to like the songs that I like from albums. So I don't have top 3 favorite albums at the moment. Also, like, every time I listen to an album that my fans recommend me, my mind is blown. So it's like, that list would kind of be constantly changing. Next one. Will you come to my birthday party? And my answer is, of course. Of course I will come to your birthday party. Next one. Tell us where you're from without actually saying where you're from. Alright, dude, like, I'm not gonna, like, tell you where I'm from, dude. That's kind of, like, sketch, dude. I don't know. Next one. What's up? Can a loke come up in your crib? Sure.
Nigga. What?
Next question. Will you make a video about Italian noise? Yeah, probably. I've gotten, you know, I've dipped my toe into the Italian noise scene a little bit, but I haven't really looked into it, so yeah, I'll probably look into it in the future. Next one. Do Do you spend more time listening to music you already know, or do you try to find something new? Congrats on 1K. I think I spend more time listening to music I already know, but I think like every day I try to find at least one new thing to listen to. Next one. What happened to your weekly drawing streams? They were fun and chill AF. To be honest, I just kind of stopped live streaming because, like, I don't know. I don't really know why I stopped. I just kind of, like, didn't feel like putting in the effort, I guess. But, yeah, I plan to start again. I plan to start streaming, like, overall again. Especially now that, like, my setup is more stable and I don't have to worry about, like, internet disconnecting randomly. So, yeah, I'll start that again. Don't you worry. Next one. Do a face reveal, you filthy degenerate. Alright, well I'm gonna tell you right now, there are only 2 circumstances in which I will do a face reveal. Number 1, when I hit 1 million subscribers. Number 2, when I'm painting the wall to the left of me on live stream. No more questions about that. Next one. What albums do you plan on reviewing in the future? I plan to review a Kaori Kuno album. I plan to review a Godspeed You Black Emperor album. Yes, it's F sharp, A sharp, infinity. And the rest, I don't really know. I've probably planned to review a few that I just can't recall off the top of my head right now, so. Yeah. Next one. Is the copious amounts of lead paint you drink harmful or helpful to your creative process? Yeah, I'd say it's helpful. I think the more brain cells you kill, the more successful you'll be on YouTube. Just look at all the famous creators today. Next question. How did you find Sewer Slut? I found her just like the rest of you. YouTube recommendations recommending me the song Mr. Kill Myself. From there, I looked into more of her discography and I liked it, so I became a regular listener. Next one. I want to fuck her. If you're referring to me or one of my characters, I will be releasing a Dakimakura body pillow cover pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that. Next one. You sound like a guy, but your avatar is a girl. Are you trans? My answer is no. Also, to address the other 3 questions asking if I'm trans, the answer is no. I am a born natural cartoon virtual idol girl, and I go by any pronouns. Gender literally doesn't matter. It has no weight on my content, so who cares? Yeah, that's my answer to that one. Also, what's the most underground artist you listen to? And by underground, I mean like the least Spotify monthly listeners, as an example. So, yeah, I don't use Spotify anymore. I used to though. But yeah, so there is a Japanese group called Time 5. They're pretty good. They were prominent in like the 80s, and they do like Brazilian Japanese fusion music. It's really good. Kaori Kuno, as I've mentioned like multiple times already, she's pretty good. There's a new artist called Jupilux who is pretty dang good. It's like a fusion of like lo-fi and funk, which is really interesting. It's like, you know, funk is usually a very aggressive genre, but somehow they're able to make it very calming. So go check them out. Next question. What is the absolute bottom of the barrel shit terrible music that you know exists on this planet? Probably, like... no, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say right now, though, a lot of stuff that is popular. Like, I know that makes me sound like a pretentious asshole, but, like, I think that there's a lot of music where I'm just like, how do people listen to this? And I'm not gonna call it out by name because I will 100% get doxxed and death threats and all that stuff, so... Yeah, next question. What's the dumbest question out of all of these? Probably the one asking what high school I went to, but no, I'm just kidding. You're good. You're good. I don't really think there's been a dumb question. So, yeah. Next one. You have to pick one to be praised by, one to be neutral with, and one to be shunned by. The VTuber community, the pretentious art community, and the music commentary community. So, I think that, to be honest, dude, it depends on which VTuber community you're talking about. If you're talking about V-tweeters, like the Twitter people who decided I'm gonna have an anime girl profile picture and not make any actual content and call myself a VTuber, I would like to be neutral with them because, you know, they could probably hurt me. They could get me banned on places if I say something too controversial. So, neutral with them. Shunned by the pretentious art community because, yeah, you guys suck. And praised by the music commentary community. Hell yeah. Pad Chennington collab. Hell yeah. Next one. Do you ever see yourself doing collabs with other YouTubers in real life? Your accent sounds like blank, lol. Probably if they're like super famous, you know, if PewDiePie wants to meet up in real life, yeah, sure. But for the large majority of things, you know, I'm gonna say if they have under 500k, I would not be willing to meet up with you in real life. I'm sorry. So, yeah. And regardless, you know, even if PewDiePie invites me out to the trap house in East LA, I'm gonna be packing heat, so you better be ready. So stupid. Next question. Describe your fan base. I think that the large majority of people who watch my videos are like people in their late teens to early 20s who went on 4chan when they were like 14 to like 17. At least from what I can tell. You know, the ones who reach out to me seem like that. Also, a lot of breakcore producers, which I really love. You know, I like to hear you guys' music. And also goth girls, like punk goth girls. That's pretty epic. Honestly, I would not trade my current fan base for the world. I love all three of those niches. Next one. I don't know why I like your videos. I don't know why you like them either. To be honest, it surprises me that as many people watch them as they do. Next one. Why don't you stream anymore? Just like most things in my life, I have no explanation, so... Yeah, I plan to start streaming again, especially because multiple people have mentioned it in the Q&A already, so... Yeah, look forward to watching me play video games and draw stuff and talk. Next one. Why are all of your characters wanted fugitives or drug addicts? Because I think it's funny. I really do think it's funny that my characters are like, you know, they're literally like little girls. They're like 5 feet tall, and yet they're like, you know, packing gats and joining gangs and taking fronts from drug dealers. I just think that the dichotomy of their character designs versus their behavior is really funny. It's the same reason that I like those like images of anime girls looking depressed. Next one. When will you do the voice acting thing you mentioned on stream? I was hype. Alright, so number one, I'm really surprised that you remembered that. Number two, yeah, I definitely plan on doing it, especially now that I have a recording level microphone. So for anyone who doesn't know, one time on stream, I was like, oh hey guys, I found this voice acting audition website where you can audition for people's personal projects and potentially get roles. So I was like, what if I live streamed myself auditioning for like a bunch of like Five Nights at Freddy's fan parodies and stuff like that, just for like the memes. Also, because it would be awesome to just have my voice in these random videos on YouTube. So yeah, I plan to do that. I definitely plan to do that. Next one. Are you playing a character? The answer is yes, 100%. I think that I am a lot more confident in real life than I am on the internet for some reason. And I guess that's because on the internet, anyone could take your words and twist them. Next one. I really appreciate your IDGAF attitude to YouTube, but doesn't it hurt your stats and your appeal? My answer is yes. How do you do SEO, and that's search engine optimization, by the way, and your thumbnails to get views? Keep up the good work, man. You're a breath of fresh air. Thank you. I do not do any search engine optimization. I literally put my thumbnails together in like MS Paint, or I just take a screenshot from the video. I do not care about making my videos discoverable or putting tags in them or anything. Like, yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, it's kind of just like, why would I waste my time putting effort into those things when I could be making my content better? And I think that's the downfall of a lot of small creators, you know? They're like, oh, how do I play the algorithm? How do I get more people to see my gaming videos? It's like, my focus is making work, putting it out. Whether people see it or not is irrelevant to me, because I just want to make work that people will enjoy. Whether that's 20 people or 200, doesn't matter. So yes, you could say that the IDGAF attitude kind of carries over into my ideology on how I make my videos too. Next question. Did you draw the characters you use in your videos? If so, when did you start drawing? So yeah, I probably drew like 60 to 70% of the characters that I use in my videos. The other ones are either commissions or fan art or whatever, you know? I drew my main models, both of them, even the one that was a failed experiment. I drew Roach, I drew Choops, I started drawing in middle school, because why not? I never really took it seriously, and I still don't really take it seriously, but I was definitely the kid who was always drawing in class and trying to, like, you know, make people laugh with, like, the stupid stuff he would draw. The downside of not taking it seriously, though, is that I have a severe lack of ability in drawing anything other than little cartoon girls, so... And also, like, I guess cartoon people. I guess I can draw dudes as well, but definitely a lot less... I have a lot less skill in drawing little cartoon dudes than I do chicks. Next one. Why do you have such good taste in music? My answer is, I do not. You're probably basing this off the fact that I review obscure albums and pretentious stuff on my channel, but in reality, I actually listen to, like, pretty much anything. I was listening to Blink-182 and Sum 41 this morning just because I felt like it. And I'm the world's biggest My Chemical Romance fan. So yes, I do actually have trash taste, you guys just don't see it. Next one. Do you love me? Of course I do. Next question. How can I discover more underground music? So I already mentioned the YouTube channels earlier. And yeah, other than that, I mean, you know, just look for it. You'll find it. Watch my channel, I guess. If you go on my channel and you, like, look at one of the albums I've reviewed, and then you just, like, look at recommendations or playlists that it's in, you'll probably find some bangers. Yeah, so the road to underground music is paved by just listening to other underground music. The algorithm that recommends you videos knows what you're into, so if you just listen to that kind of stuff, it'll give you it. Next one. How do I impress women with my obscure music taste? Alright, so number one, do not play breakcore or lollycore, because that will just immediately cut off your chances of getting laid. I would recommend Yuji Ono or, like, Ryo Fukui. Because, you know, when a girl hears a Japanese name and an artist that you're playing, first they're like, I hope this isn't an anime opening. But second, they're like, wow, you're so cultured. Like, if I could name the amount of girls that I've impressed by showing them Ryo Fukui, who isn't even underground, I might add. He has millions of views, dude. He's really popular on YouTube right now. Yeah, dude. I don't know where I was going with that, but play some Japanese jazz. Don't play super experimental stuff. Even though it might be cool and pretentious, if you're trying to impress people, that's not the way to go. Next one. Waffles or pancakes? I think that depends on the mood, 100%, but I think, for the most part, the crunchy exterior of waffles makes them better to me. Next one. Can we hang out sometime? Sure. Next one. Is hyperpop the future? No, not at all. I think that it's cool that it's getting a lot more attention, but I don't think it'll ever reach the mainstream. Like, you know, you see trap in the mainstream, you see like Roddy Ricch, and I'm like, yeah, I could see, you know, someone's aunt and someone's uncle listening to that, or, you know, someone's dad listening to that. But I can't really see someone's dad listening to 100 Gex. And I don't really, you know, honestly, even current listeners of 100 Gex, I don't see them listening to 100 Gex when they're like 50 years old. So, I do not think it's the future, no. I think it's cool that it's rising in prevalence now, though. Next one. Would you ever review music made by your fans? I'll probably do it as like a subscriber special milestone thing. Like I will do like a contest or something, I don't know. But I get so many people in DMs who will just send me like a link to their stuff and expect me to be like, oh wow, this is the esoteric melodies and the ethereal synths, really. But like, the thing is, I can't review every person's music who sends it to me, and I feel bad saying that, you know. I would love to review all of your music, but I just do not have the energy to do it. So, you know, if you've DM'd me trying to promote your music and I don't respond, I mean, number one, I really hope you're not trying to clout chase and you're just trying to show me what you've got. But number two, yeah, I'm probably not going to listen to it. If you send me a link in your first message to me, like, for me, that's a pretty obvious sign of I'm not going to respond. Like, and I mean like a link to your own stuff. Because it's like, I want my reviews to be based on the music itself or the story surrounding the music. I don't want to have a bias where it's like, oh, a fan sent me their own music, so I'm going to listen to it. Because, like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy. So, yes, I will probably review music made by my fans in a subscriber special, or, you know, like one time I did it on live stream because I was bored, and like, why not? So I might do that again, but yeah, don't send me your links, please, in your first message to me. Have a conversation with me. I am a real human being. I don't know why people, like, do that. Your self-promos, I'm not really down for it. Next one. Heart, heart, heart. Thank you. Next one. If you could see any music group live or go to any music event tomorrow, what would it be? No limitations, even if they're dead. I would go to Woodstock 1969 because it is the most, like, hyped thing in the past 100 years pertaining to music. Either that, or I would see, like, Beethoven in concert. I think that would be cool, too. Next one. What got you into obscure music? Your first obscure or really any song that led to your interest in obscure music? And how has it affected you and your life? From Amari the Superfan. Thank you, Amari. I don't know, dude. I mean, it's kind of always been around. I've always listened to, like, obscure music since I was, like, younger, you know? Probably started in, like, high school. I don't know. I was friends with a lot of, like, producers in high school, so they would, like, put me on this stuff that inspired them. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to answer. There was no real definitive song where I was like, oh my gosh, I've been deluded. I've been a sheep my whole life, and I need to stop listening to the mainstream. Like, yeah, no, so I really don't know anything else is basically my answer. Next. Will you please keep being old school cancer, never give in to the wider audience trap, keep being a bastion? I do not plan to try to appeal to a wider audience at any point. Like, legitimately, I think that what the YouTube community needs right now is someone who doesn't care. and I'm gonna keep doing that. So thank you for recognizing it. Thank you for showing your support. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and yeah. Next one. 3 Beppo, like what's Beppo? Why 3? Like what? Why does the dog doing? What the dog doing though? Next one. When will the Choops world domination come to my modest home? Will Veronica ever love you again? How do you turn out to be so amazingly awesome? And I am not pronouncing it Choops. Oh no, dude. Please don't pronounce it Chups, dude. Please. It's short for Chupacabra, dude. Like, come on, dude. Next one. I love you. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Next one. Why didn't you end up getting the live 2D model, or when are you? So I didn't end up getting the live 2D model because I realized that doing it myself is really difficult, and I don't really know if my characters translate into that medium very well. Like, I don't know if my current model would look good with facial tracking, so I'm just not even gonna test that water because I would have to pay someone to do it too, and that's like $200. So if I do end up getting a live 2D model, it will probably be if someone rich donates me $1,000, or if I get big enough to where I can justify the spending of $1,000. And before you say it, yes, I know you can get them for cheaper, but I would rather have a high quality live 2D model than a bad quality one, because I feel like a bad quality one detracts a lot of people. It definitely detracts me, you know. I see a bad live 2D model and I'm like, I don't really want to watch this. So yeah, I probably won't be getting a live 2D model soon unless I randomly blow up. Next one. Favorite Crystal Castles song at the moment? Yeah, so there's this one called yeah, I probably shouldn't say this. African American homosexual. That's those are 2 synonyms for it. Go look up the song. You'll know what I'm saying. It's a good song. It's on their unreleased kind of thing. How much lore is there, and how often do you think about it? There's an unnecessarily large amount of lore, and I think about it really often. I don't think a lot of people know, but there is a semi-cohesive storyline in a way. I mean, it's not really cohesive because most of it just exists in my head, but I have scripts written that should link up a bunch of stuff more so than it was linked in the past. I'm really glad that people have been recognizing that there's like a semi-storyline between the characters, but you know, I also recognize that it's pretty garbage right now. Next one. Chip's favorite food. I'm gonna assume you mean Choops, and I'm gonna say her favorite food is Marlboro Red cigarette butts. Yes, that's right. After she's done smoking them, she will eat them. It's really unhealthy. We're trying to get her to stop, but she will not go on a diet no matter what we tell her, so it's a lost cause. It's a lost cause. Next one. What are you gonna do with my money? Well, it's probably just going into my bank account to reimburse me for this expensive microphone I bought. But after that, you know, probably all sorts of things. Most likely gambling. You know, maybe food. Maybe like going on a trip with the boys or something. I don't know. Probably just the normal things that people spend their money on. I know a lot of people are probably expecting me to say VTuber donations or VTuber super chats, but I've actually never done those kinds of donations. The one thing I did do was I bought merch from Nanners. Other than that, I haven't really spent money on them. I know, makes me a fake fan, but I don't care. Next. Will I make the deadline to this? Congratulations, you did. Where would you love to travel to? I'd really love to go across Europe. I'm not a vlogger though, so I don't know if you guys would ever see that if it did happen, but who knows, maybe I would. Maybe we're gonna bring back a sort of a Joji Vlogs type thing. Next one. Which manga are you currently reading? None. Yeah, I'm not reading any right now. I'm watching Kimono Friends, though. Next one. Minecraft. I'm assuming this is in reference to me saying I was going to make a server. Yeah, I'll probably make a Minecraft server at some point if the community wants it enough. But, you know, if nobody's going to join, or if just, like, 2 or 3 people are going to join, then, like, I don't really see a point in spending money on it. But, yeah. I'll do it. Next one. Beppo Craft Uwu. Okay. Next one. Oh, this one's from Twitter. This one's from my, the homie. Number 1. Are you an ass or a tits kind of person? Ass all the way. That is what I have to say about that. Number 2. What type of music you won't review? Probably most things with a established and aggressive fan base. So, like, most mainstream stuff. You know, I don't really see a point in reviewing that kind of stuff, because it's like, why would you watch me when you could just watch Punk Revolution Now or Fantano do it, you know? There's no point in me drawing unwanted negativity towards myself for reviewing an album that thousands of other opinions are already coming out about, you know? I want to be, you know, one of, like, just a few reviews on an album, so that my opinion actually matters somewhat, at least somewhat more than if I was reviewing something 100 other people had done. Number 3. If you can, what type of music would you like to make? I would probably want to make, you know, if I had the ability to magically attain any power, I would love to learn, probably like violin or some kind of string instrument, or like harp, because I just think that would be cool. I think there's a lot of value in the image that classical instruments have, and I think it would be really cool to have that sort of skill set. And how's life being a famous, rich, and well-known YouTuber? It's pretty great, you know? Get a lot of support online, get a lot of hate online. And, you know, I go to Starbucks, the barista's like, all right, what name for your coffee? And I'm like, oh, you don't recognize my voice? You don't know who I am? You don't know who I am? You know, and then I commit felony assault, but it's okay because my AdSense money pays for it all. So it's whatever. By the way, that was a joke. I don't receive AdSense. I'm not applying for AdSense. Frick a YouTube partnership. It'll only get me banned. Alright. And so last but most certainly not least, because 3 people asked this, what type of hentai do you like? My answer is I don't really watch it. But if I have to, it would probably be torture, guru, ugly bastard, mind break, mutilation, amputation, and
This is ITV News at 10 with Mark Austin and Julie Etchingham.
Good evening, paedophiles.
Alright, well, that was all of the questions for the 1K Q&A. This is by far my longest continuous recording ever, and this video is going to take a lot of time to encode in Character Animator. So I would like to thank you for coming all the way to the end. I don't know why you watched all the way to the end, to be honest, listening to me ramble about random topics sent in by viewers, but yeah, you guys' support over the past, like, few months really has made the hours I pour into videos worth it. You know, sometimes I wonder, is this really worth it? But the amount of support you guys have given me recently really has shown me that, you know, I am worth your time. I'm doing something that's worth your time, therefore it's also worth my time. So yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for getting me to 1K. And I will see you in the next video essay. And as always, remember to
Subscribe to make me feel better about my regrets.
As always, I would like to give a special thank you and a special shout out to my patrons over at patreon.com. We've got my connoisseurs of fine art, Walter, Thick Melon, Alcume Zuke, and The Cool. For my pseudo-intellectual supporter, we got Saws, and for my aficionado of degeneracy, we have Alec. And, in an unprecedented surprise, a complete and utter act of good grace and support for the show, we have our first TripleBeppo Super Simp. Bruh, why would you spend that much money on me? Bruh, is my content really that good? But we've got Cade. Thank you, Cade. You have supported me since the very beginning, and this most recent donation really will motivate me, or I guess it has motivated me to, really step up my game and continue making content at a faster rate and a higher quality rate, hopefully. So yeah, thank you. I know I rambled a lot, but it means the world to me. You don't see it, but I'm doing the prayer hands emoji. I hope that all of you patrons enjoyed this video, and I hope that you all have a blessed and wonderful day. I'm pretty much like 2/3 of the way to paying off this microphone, so thank you guys. Or this mic setup, I mean.
Oh my god, Beppo, you're